Perfect. Both of them is done. All right, before we get to the bearings, let's reinstall these struts. We'll be right back. This channel is a member of the Astral Stars, which means we have a zero-tolerance policy against the harassment of others. Anybody who violates that policy will be banned. For further information, please visit www.theastralstars.com. Alright, before we put them in, your new strut assembly is going to come with the new nuts on it. So, take those off. Guys, if you're doing struts, this has got to be the safest way to do it. Other than that, to change these, you'll have to get a special tool to grab these coil springs, and this thing squeezes these down and holds it in place while you take off that center nut. Do not, yeah, by the way, good thing I'm doing this, they got the tag right here also. Do not touch that center nut. You take that off, this thing will explode. I mean, literally explode. If you look online, you're going to see a lot of videos where guys mishandled these and it actually broke their nose. There's a lot of pressure under this spring right now. You got to figure, this spring is what's holding up this car. So there's a lot of pressure right here. So let's go ahead and put it in there. Now we noticed that we had to go over the axle, bring it up, the upper control arm, pick it up to go under like that. Yeah, see, I already did it wrong. Can you tell me what I did wrong? It's back. Perfect. There you go. Backwards. I got it backwards. Now I would have been able to put it up there, maybe, but it still wouldn't have bolted up nothing. Then I'd have been like, dang it, that sucks. So let's take this back out. Make sure the bolt is in the back. Back down. Pick your upper control arm up. Bring it up there. Now let it rest just like that. Grab your 3 nuts. Now, if you don't have too much of a strength or anything, have somebody down there below picking this strut up. If you ain't worried about that, do it yourself. Hold it up like that. One hand's holding it up, and the other hand putting this one in. And that one, as you can see, is not on yet. But we're not worried about that because we know over here we're not really there. Now that it goes like that, now we can go up here, put our other nut on. Cool. Now go back over here, get our long bolt and nut. Now, guys, right here, guys, it doesn't matter. Either way you want, you can put this. But you just got to make sure it lines up with the hole in the lower control. I'll hold it with that hole right there. Now, you can take your hand, and it doesn't take much to bring this down. Either you can use that. Now sometimes, like this one is kind of twisted, so you can actually take your strut and twist it a little bit. Because remember, this thing turns. Well, not this. Twist it just a little bit. Bring it down. As you can see, it ain't all that easy. Now this thing, you can see, like I said, this thing has to twist just a little bit. So take your hand and you can twist it just a little bit. Then you start cursing it out when it don't work, because it's not working. There it is. Got it. I think I just had it. It's almost time for hammer time.
Can't touch this.
You know, you're going to distract me when I'm having a hard time here.
That's my job.
Tell you what, guys. Let me get a pry bar, and I'll be right back. Alright, guys. Got a pry bar here. Makes it a lot easier that we can control this door control arm and bring it down. And what's bad about this, the strut is kind of twisted. So what do we do at a time like this? What we gotta do here is actually try to twist this lower control arm. Ow, ow, that sucked. That hurt. That hurt. Alright, cool. We got it almost lined up though. Let's bring this forward. Of course, you know. When you get it like this, guys, get you a screwdriver or something. And try to, dang it, do this messed up again. Get a screwdriver and try to line that up. What the heck? Okay. Finally. Get the screw in there. Get you a hammer or something. And tap that right in. Perfect. Alright. Get your nut. Put your nut on the other side. Let's leave that there. Let's go get the other one in. We'll be right back. Alright, guys, you know what? Before we go over to the other side, let's grab our 17mm wrench, 17mm socket, 1/2-inch drive, and let's tighten this bottom one up. Now, if you do not have, you cannot over tighten it, especially by hand. This thing is so tight. But if you want to be safe, put your 1/2-inch, your 17mm wrench over here, get your 1/2-inch ratchet, and you're going to go tight till you can't no more, and then try to put a little bit more. Then it'll be perfect. Right, this side is done. Now let's go to the other side. We'll be right back. All right, let's get this side. Bolt goes on the inside. Put it over the axle. Bring it in. Your upper control arm. Pick it up. Bring it in more. Now we can let it rest there. Grab the 3 nuts. Go to the top. One hand is going to hold this strut up. If you cannot do that, have somebody else hold it up for you. So let's pick that up. And if you can't get all of them at once, that's okay. As long as you can get one of them. That'll be okay. In this case, we did get 2. Got that on by a couple threads. Let's go back down here. Now we're going to pick the axle up. Bring our strut assembly forward. Line it up with the lower control arm. And if you want, you can go on the top now and put the other nut on. Or let's see if this one, if we can do this one without using the pry bar. So and of course not. I can tell you right now, it is like difficult to get that thing, to get that between there. It is not that easy, even though it came out. Nope. All right, so let's get my pry bar, put it right down there. So now we can bring our low control arm down. Now let's see if we can bring our strut assembly in there. Still no. Let's reposition our pry bar. Oh yeah, by the way, just to make it easy for you, this is what I'm doing. I got my pry bar between the lower control arm and the frame. And what I'm doing is putting my arm over, putting the pry bar underneath my arm. So now I got both my hands free, And by doing this, I can move the lower control arm. And hopefully, I can get this thing to line up. And of course, it's not. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Guys, trust me, this is not easy. So, and you figure, dang it, man, just a little bit. That's all they had to do was put this a little bit more over to the side. Finally. But not yet. I got it in there, but now I guarantee you when I go to line this up, man, it's gonna pop out of there and look crazy in the face. But before I do that, let's get our bolt ready. Now remember, this bolt can go either which way. It does not matter. So now, here we go. Hopefully. Perfect. Now, once you get it like that, grab your hammer or using a pry bar or my ratchet. Now, once you get to that point, what you're going to have to do is move your lower control arm up and down a little bit. So it goes in. Perfect. Get the nut, put it onto the other side, and while we're here, let's tighten that up. 17mm wrench. Get our 1/2" drive socket. And let's tighten this up. Okay, your struts are in, but not done yet. Go back to the top. See if these are, the nuts on this is not 14mm like the other one. Let's try a 15. I'll be right back. You know what, guys? I was gonna tighten this up, but no. Let me do something. Let me get my. Now I got me a 15mm deep 3/8 drive, and what I'm gonna do is get a 3/8 drive ratchet. I'm gonna show you something first. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, take your 15mm, and I'm gonna show you how to tighten this up with the ratchet. Now you want to bring it in. Now to tighten these up with the ratchet, that's all you want to do is go till it stops. This one's still tightening up. Go till it stops and turn a little bit more. That's it. You can actually feel that you can actually tighten up more, but don't do that. You'll break that nut, break that stud right off of there, and then all this work will be for nothing. So just till it stops, and then a little bit more. That's if you're doing it by hand. Now, if you're doing it by the cordless impact, these things are set to stop at a certain point. As you can remember, in the beginning, I couldn't even loosen it up with this, so it can't over tighten it. Done. Let's get the other side done, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, the next thing we're gonna do is now to press some bearings out and press some new bearings in. Now, there's multiple ways of doing it. There's little kits out there to do this. I don't know. I really don't trust the kits too much, but what I do rather you get is get yourself a press. This way, you can use this press for multiple things. And if you guys notice that when we were building the engine on the Kia, we used the press for the pistons. It can be used for so many different ways. Now this part right here, there isn't no way I can teach you because there's just so many ways of setting it up. You're gonna have these metal plates that go up here. So you're gonna be using these metal plates. You're gonna be setting them up different kind of ways. It's just so many ways, and I'm only going to give you a guidance to this. Unless you have this set right here from Harbor Freight, then you'll know exactly what to do. All right, the first thing we got to do is separate the hub. That's this part out here, the tire spin on. We got to press this out of the spindle. So, and what's also bad about this is, I don't know why Honda did this, man. I have no idea. The backing plate right here is held on by 3 screws. There should have been an opening right here, so when you unbolt those 3 screws, the backing plate will come right out. But no, they didn't do that. So we gotta make sure that we do not bend that backing plate. Now, once we get that hub out of here, we can take that out and get it right off. But you gotta remember to put it back on before you press the hub back in. All right, so let's get set up and we'll be right back. All right, guys, the method I'm going to use right now, I really don't recommend it. I really don't recommend it. Definitely, if you go on the Harbor Freight and get you a press, this one is the cheapest one you can get. And I think it's like $100 and something. Get one that's actually wider. Reason being is that, being that we got to press that hub out of there, it would have been great if our hub would fit right in between here, because if it fit between there, I'll be able to fit it right between there, press down, bam, done. But it's the same size, which sucks. So what we got to do is actually pick this up in the air high enough to press this out. If you have 2 blocks of wood, 4x4, place one right here and one right here, that's still not going to do it, because there is not enough space for that hub to drop down. So this is what we're gonna do. Now, your kit is gonna come with these plates. These plates are gonna save your life. It's gonna be a balancing act. You're gonna put one plate there. The spindle is gonna center it. Your other plate is going to go on the other side. It's going to be right there. And you want to make sure that your plates is not being held up by this backing plate, or it's just going to bend it. You got to make sure these plates are going to be on the spindle, coming up to the spindle. And then we're going to get some tools here, extensions, and we're going to line that up, and we're going to slowly press that down. That's right. We'll be right back. All right, guys. Hey, matter of fact, wait a minute. You know, they already know who. They
know Tori.
They didn't know. We didn't even say.
Hello.
That's right, guys. This is Tori's car. That's right. I should have said that in the beginning. All right, so here we are. This is the setup, guys. Again, I do not recommend this way at all. So
why are you doing it?
What other choice I got? We gotta do it. Natural. We can't do it. We can't repair it. Nobody can.
You better say it.
All right. So we got it balancing act. Got it balanced up here. We got a 36 mil, and this is the socket we use to take off the axle nut. And I definitely use an impact, because them impact are great. Now your hub is right inside there, so you need a socket to be able to grab that outer part right there. So this socket, look at that works perfect. Now what I'm doing is using,
it's not centered.
It's good. Now what I'm going to be using is a 2-inch half-inch drive extension and a 1-inch half-inch drive extension. And again, guys, just use this as a guidance. Yours is going to be completely different than this. We're going to set this up right there, and that sucks because we got this thing perfectly balanced up here, and now we have to move the whole thing over to line up with there.
Really?
Duh. That.
Really?
So, yeah. Here we go. You know what? This is, what's that game? Like Jenga.
Jenga.
Yeah. You know this thing gonna go. Alright, let's move the whole assembly over. Alright, I'm just about there. Let's get
Right there. Right there.
all right. Now what we're gonna do is tighten up our jack, and we're gonna slowly now. It looks like we're just a little bit off, so we're gonna all right. Now go down more. Got a little pressure on it, everything's stabilized. This is where the fun comes in. We're gonna start jacking down the hydraulic jack, and you do not want to be pretty much too close to this just in case things go pow. So we're gonna slowly start bringing it down.
Well, I have a question.
Yeah.
What happens when the hub drops down?
Then everything's just gonna fall. The hub's just gonna drop down, everything gonna fall, but that's good.
Nothing's gonna get damaged?
Nah, nothing's gonna get damaged.
Alright.
And as you come over here and you can see right
You
inside.
just step back.
Well, you the camera person, so you gotta. And as I press down, you're gonna notice the hub starts going down. And now the hub is gonna start coming down, and the whole thing comes apart. Now, this is the part I was telling you about. When you take this apart, this racer right around here, that's part of the bearing. So it's when you take these apart, there ain't no putting this back together. You're gonna be putting a new one in. This is definitely we're gonna have to actually take this off, and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna take this off. So let's get that, put that to the side, and let's get ready to take out the rest of the bearing, which is a lot easier than what we just did. All right, be right back. All right, guys. You know what? A little while ago in the video, I gave Harbor Freight a thumbs up. Actually, I should have gave him a yeah, buddy. But this is one thing do not get from Harbor Freight. They're snap ring pliers. For some reason, these things you're supposed to take them out and you can adjust them for inner or outer snap rings, whatever. For some reason, these things strip out. So when you go to change them and put the bolt in there, this thing's just strip out of nowhere. They just strip. The idea is good, but definitely stay away from them. But it should hold together for this, hopefully for this. Inside here, past all the grease, you're gonna see a snap ring. There's one of the holes right there, and there's one of the holes right there. So what you want to do is take your snap ring pliers, put it into each of the holes, squeeze them, and squeeze them together and pick that snap ring up. All right, wipe this off, and now we're going to turn it back over and we're going to press that bearing out through this way. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, what we're going to try here, because this bearing goes all the way out to here. Now it's possible we can press right here, but this ring might be in the way and we don't want to damage this. So what I'm going to try here, I'm going to try to go right here and try to see if this ring will pop up. Just by a little pressure at all. I'm not using a lot at all. And I can see right now that it's not really budging too much. So that's going to complicate a few things. So what we're going to do here is we're going to try it. We're going to need something about the circumference of right around here, and hopefully it grabs enough to push that out. Dang. No, you just can't get no better than that, guys. I mean, that's now that we shouldn't talk yet because we got to see if it presses out. But then you're gonna need something to go on top of here. You can use that or something, and that looks good. All right, let's set this up on a press, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we're gonna try this. Worst that can happen is it don't work. All right, here we go. This side over here is starting to go down. Let me see. No, this wood looks like it's about to crack. I'm gonna stand back a little bit.
Yeah, watch out.
Step back, son.
Cool, it did pop loose. Yeah, so you can see at the bottom, you can see the bearing coming out of the spindle. And there we have it. Wow, this thing really messed up that bearing. Alright guys, we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do, this racer right here, that's part of the bearing, so we need to take that off. Now, you guys might wonder, how the heck do you get that off? Well, either you get it off or you can buy you another hub. But we're going to get it off. You want to get you a cutting wheel. Let's just do that for 1 minute. And what you're going to do, this is going to take a little time. Don't cut it straight, because if you cut it straight, you're going to damage the hub. You want to cut it at an angle, like this right here. And Tori, you want to come on this side a little bit. So, and guys, watch yourself, because there will sparks be flying. So what you want to do is cut it. And you want to keep on cutting down till you get close to the hub. Even if you nick the hub, that's okay. Just don't cut into it. If you nick it, it's okay. And you want to cut as much as you can along that line. Then you're going to get you an air chisel, and your air chisel going to go in there, and you're going to hit it, and it's going to crack that thing right open, and you'll be able to take that off. I know I made that sound simple, but it's not. So the first thing we do, take your time. Go ahead, and the more of an angle you cut, the better off you're going to be. All right, so let's get that done, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, as you can see the cut we made on it. Now, hopefully that cut is deep enough that the chisel will crack that and bring it up. Right now, remember, this is pressed on, so there's no way you're getting this off by hand, screwdriver, whatever you use. So that's why you got to make that mark in there. Now what we're going to do is, we got our air chisel, and what you're going to do, you're going to set the chisel right about there on the groove, and you're gonna go down this way, and you're hoping that because you made that mark right there, it's gonna crack that ring and cause that ring to start moving. So let's get our tool set up, hold it into place. It didn't crack, but you can start to walk out of there. I just pulled it back. Wait a minute, it did crack. There it is. You can see how when it cracks, that thing comes off so easy. And that's how you take your eraser off. Finally, this is what we were looking for, guys. We're looking for some part numbers up here. So we do got our part numbers. So we're gonna, because these bearings are under warranty, so we're gonna take this number down and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got the bearing out, everything. Tori left to go get the new bearings. So as she's going, we're gonna go ahead and disassemble this part, this one, so we can have that ready. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, Tori went to go pick up the new bearings. So in the meantime, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take our wire wheel brush and clean all this up, get the carburetor cleaner, clean all this grease up and all that. You know, this is kind of messy. So let's clean that up and we'll be right back. All right, guys, Tori came back with the bearings. Now you're gonna have this one. She has national bearings, but these are different. But they, you know, different. Just an upgraded one on a national. Now, when you put these in, you're gonna have one side that's gonna have the encoder. That's the side that has to go to the wheel speed sensor. If you don't have that going to the wheel speed sensor, your ABS light will come on, you step on the brakes. It's just gonna be a complete mess. Then you gotta disassemble the entire job. So when you put these in, you look on the side that has the brown ring, that's the encoder. You gotta put that face down. So here's our hub, our spindle. It's gonna be pressed in like this, the brown side. But let's put that to the side. National, now I'm not sure if any other name brand did this, but National came out with an updated bearing where they put the encoder on both sides. So definitely get something like that. So no matter which way you set this, it's going to be right. Now, to put this in, you are going to need your old bearing. Do not try to press that in with this center part that goes into the hub, or you will damage the encoder. You'll damage everything. You need the old bearing to go on the outside like that. If you don't have it, like we don't, we have to find something that will grab that outside and push it in without touching this, because this side right here, the inside, that's this part that spins. You don't need to squeeze that, damage that in any kind of way. So let's try to find something and we'll be right back. All right, guys, this, I am not sure it's gonna work, but this is the best thing we got with this oil filter wrench. I'm gonna have to line that up perfectly, center that perfectly to get that to press down. Let's find out if it's gonna work. Let's set this up here.
It's alright, we got warranty on it. We're just gonna get another one.
Now watch they watch our videos and say, we heard her in the background.
They ain't gonna watch it before we go get another one.
Right? Alright, that's setting a little crooked.
What you waiting on?
What am I waiting on?
You told me to go ahead and pop it out.
Let's get this on
I
like
told
this.
you didn't have to do it at that moment.
Alright, let's.
But it would be nice.
Okay, so I did it.
I'm
Alright,
waiting.
guys, here we go.
I'ma go.
Wait. Which one do I got? I got the yeah, one that can go either way. Alright. gonna set that in there like that. Set that up there. We get one shot at this. We gotta push that down till it stops. Okay, now let's release it. And it's in. Cool.
See, look at God.
All right, let's get our snap ring and install it back up here. Right back. All right, guys, now we got our new snap ring. We're gonna get our ring over here, get our snap ring pliers, squeeze it in, get it down there, and make sure it is in that groove. And if you want, you can take a little hammer, so tap it around. You want to make sure that it's in there. Get a flat screwdriver. It definitely went in there. That is great. Everything is great. Now, the reason why you have to make sure that encoder is down below, because your wheel speed sensor goes right into there. Remember we took that out with the 10mm bolt? It drops down in there, it comes through there, and it's got to read this ring right here. So, just to let you know that. All right. Let's go get our, before we go to the other one, let's get our other spindle and install the bearing into that one. Right back. All right, guys, now we got our other national bearing. Now, this bearing is a little bit different. One side is going to have the metal part, and the other side is the brown side. Now, this one, the encoder, is only on this side right here. Remember, the encoder side has to go down into the spindle. So you're going to put your bearing. Now, check this out. What I'm doing here is, let me take this back out. There is a little lip inside here, and this bearing has a little bit of groove, a little bit of like a rounded edge. You can actually set your bearing in there, and it's like a starting point. And you got it stuck in here. Okay, get that to a starting point right about there. All right, let's get our cap. And we're gonna have to center this now. Okay. Push that down. All right, we'll be right back.